on PBS.
The city of Athens prepares for an influx of people this weekend. A momentary victory for abortion activists in Texas. And in sports, Ohio soccer looks to remain at the top of the MAC. Newswatch starts right now. Good evening, I'm Lexi Lepoff. Welcome to Newswatch, your source for news impacting southeastern Ohio. Ohio University welcomes back alumni from across the country this weekend for homecoming. In-person festivities return after a COVID hiatus, but Joe Collins reports this year will look a little different.
Homecoming weekend is one of the largest annual gatherings in Athens. The decision to bring the celebration back to the city was made after vaccines were put into circulation. But with the COVID variants spreading and vaccination rates in rural Athens County lagging, Ohio University says visitors have to follow the rules to prevent the spread of the virus here on campus.
We're following all university and City of Athens policy and guidelines, asking our alumni to do that as well. The OU policy states that all visitors need to wear a mask indoors and outdoors if you're unvaccinated. So that is the policy that we obviously are following and encouraging our alumni to follow.
The university is also asking people to social distance when possible at events like the Bobcat Bash tailgate and the Ohio football homecoming game on Saturday. The homecoming parade will perhaps be the most modified event. Its route will be extended past Schoonover to go by the Conacher Advancement and Alumni Center.
More information on homecoming festivities and COVID guidelines can be found at ohio.edu/homecoming.
Hi everyone, I am forecaster Ashley Ziegler, and right now we have a temperature of 71 degrees with winds from the east of 2 miles an hour and nighttime humidity of 83% and nighttime thunderstorms that are expected tonight. Right now we have temperatures in the low 70s for most of the area with a major temperature of 71 degrees for a lot of the area. As we take a look at our weekend highlights, we can see on first Friday and Saturday, sorry for that technical difficulty, that we will be expecting showers and thunderstorms. On Sunday, we will have mostly sunny skies, and throughout the whole weekend, we should expect temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s. Now to Lexi, back to news.
Ohio's Supreme Court is upholding the death sentence of a man who killed 4 of his relatives, including an 8-year-old boy. Court records show inmate Aaron Lawson fatally shot his adult cousin, along with her son, mother, and stepfather. The court ruled today that the slayings of multiple people, including a child, outweighed Lawson's significant mental health issues. Justice Jennifer Brenner authored the court's dissent, noting a new state law prohibiting the execution of people who were severely mentally ill at the time of their crime. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine is back in the state after visiting the United States southern border in Texas earlier this week. The State House News Bureau reports DeWine spent yesterday meeting with Ohio National Guard members who were deployed more than a year ago. He then joined 9 other Republican governors yesterday to tour the border with Texas Governor Greg Abbott. The governor was joined by Ohio First Lady Fran DeWine and Major General John Harris of the Ohio National Guard. An Ohio House committee has finished hearing nearly 14 hours of vaccine exemption testimony. Ohio lawmakers heard testimony in today and yesterday on House Bill 435, which would create exemptions in state law for people who don't want to comply with COVID-19 vaccine mandates. Business groups and healthcare organizations say the bill goes too far, while anti-vaccine mandate groups say it does not go far enough. HB 435 is just the latest measure from the Ohio House to address mandates. Another bill banning all mandatory vaccines in the state has been introduced as well. And while the debate over mandates continues in Ohio, COVID-19 vaccines for younger children could be on the way. Pfizer officially applied for emergency use authorization today for its vaccine in kids ages 5 to 11. CNN's Mandy Gaither has more on what the rollout may look like if this vaccine is authorized for the age group.
If authorized, it would be the first COVID-19 vaccine for younger children. Pfizer officially applying for emergency use authorization for kids ages 5 to 11.
This is an important development.
The FDA has scheduled time to review the Pfizer data October 26th. That would be followed by consideration by the CDC. While it's still unclear how long a decision may take, here was the timeline for adults. Pfizer applied for an EUA on November 20th, 2020. It was authorized December 11th.
We are ready. We have the supply. We're working with states to set up convenient locations for parents and kids to get vaccinated, including pediatricians' offices and community sites.
Pfizer says in trials, more than 2,200 children were given 1/3 of the dose adults get. The company found its vaccine safe and generated a robust antibody response. But officials know they're continuing to contend with vaccine hesitancy.
I would anticipate that as parents and their children have questions of their pediatricians and other local health professionals, and they get those questions answered, that more and more parents and kids will want their kids to get vaccinated.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Pfizer began submitting the data to the FDA late last month, but had not formally requested authorization until today. Coming up, abortion advocates in Texas secure a momentary win, and an earthquake strikes off the coast of Tokyo. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
On Life from Above. Looking down from space, satellite cameras capture the extraordinary patterns of our planet, revealing a vast array of shapes, carved into the earth by powerful natural forces, transformed by remarkable animals, and even patterns created by humans. Discover the incredible tapestry of our planet as you've never seen it before.
The largest Arctic expedition ever.
We want to understand why the ice is melting.
It impacts everything we do, all of the weather that we experience.
There's never been data like this.
We all have to care.
To protect the planet, to protect everyone.
What is at stake? Everything, I would say.
Arctic Drift on Nova.
Week 8, we're getting to the point in the season where conference title races are heating up and playoff seeding is taking shape. Gridiron Glory has you covered on all the biggest matchups around Southern Ohio, including Portsmouth traveling to Fairland and Wheelersburg hosting Waverly. Other big games include Jackson traveling to Washington Courthouse and Philo hosting Sheridan. All that and more on Gridiron Glory, 11:30 Friday night, only on WOUB.
Next time on the National Parks. During a depression and a war, the parks bring jobs and peace. A young biologist revolutionizes the park's wildlife policies.
George Mellon is right. Was a savior of wildlife.
And in Wyoming, battle lines are drawn along the front of the Tetons.
The ranchers were totally opposed.
As the National Parks continues.
A federal judge in Texas has blocked the state's controversial 6-week abortion ban. The judge, siding with the federal government, calls the ban unconstitutional. Chris Wynn is in Washington with the details.
In Texas, a momentary win for abortion rights proponents. Wednesday, a federal judge issued an order temporarily blocking the enforcement of the state's 6-week abortion ban, among the most restrictive in the nation. In a scathing 114-page ruling, Judge Robert Pittman wrote, "From the moment SB 8 went into effect, women have been unlawfully prevented from exercising control over their lives in ways that are protected by the Constitution." He went on to say that other courts may find a way to avoid this conclusion as theirs to decide. This court will not sanction one more day of this offensive deprivation of such an important right. The decision comes just days after thousands rallied at the Texas state capitol in support of reproductive rights.
Women's rights are human rights!
The Justice Department sued Texas on September 9th, more than a week after the law went into effect. Most clinics have been in compliance, forcing people to go out of state to have an abortion if they were more than 6 weeks into their pregnancies. In a statement, U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland praised the ruling, calling it a victory for women in Texas and for the rule of law. But Texas Right to Life, an anti-abortion group which advocated for SB 8 in the state legislature, branded the decision as wildly broad and astonishing. Texas has already indicated it plans to appeal the ruling. The issue ultimately likely to land before the Supreme Court. In Washington, I'm Chris Wynn reporting.
Neighboring states have since seen a surge in patients from Texas. Oklahoma's Planned Parenthood has seen a 133% increase since the ban went into place. It's been 6 days since thousands of gallons of oil started spewing into the Pacific Ocean. Now investigators believe they have identified the source of the spill. Daryl Forges has the details.
New video shows a 13-inch tear in this California oil pipeline that caused what's been called a major environmental disaster. Officials say up to 144,000 gallons of crude oil spewed from this line into the Pacific Ocean.
The pipeline has essentially been pulled like a bowstring, and so at its widest point is 105 feet away from where it was. So it is kind of in almost a semicircle.
A preliminary report indicates the partial tear could have been caused by an anchor that hooked the pipeline. The Coast Guard boarded a German ship that could have played a role in the spill. The company that runs the cargo ship denies the vessel passed over the pipeline and said they are fully cooperating with authorities.
This investigation is going to be robust, and we are going to get to the bottom of what happened.
Meanwhile, the cleanup continues.
It's people in suits and gloves that are picking up oil off the beaches, what we call tar balls and patties, packaging that up so it can be disposed of as hazardous material.
Unified Command reports some 4,800 gallons of oil have been recovered so far. The beaches in the area remain closed, impacting some businesses that want this to end soon.
It's very quiet. People are kind of just stay away from the beach. It's not as bad as it looks. Yes, it is a disaster, but so far, closing the beach, I think is a little too much.
I'm Daryl Forges reporting.
Across the Pacific, Japan is dealing with the aftermath of a 5.9 magnitude earthquake. The quake struck earlier today off of Japan's coast near Tokyo. At least 250 households are now without power. The Japanese government has since set up a task force to deal with the situation, and officials say they haven't detected any abnormalities at nuclear facilities. A new report from Microsoft says Russian hackers are improving their skills and efficiency. According to the software company, Russia's success rate is getting unauthorized access to systems has risen from 21% to 32%. Microsoft also says hackers are increasingly targeting government organizations. More than half of the targets of Moscow-based groups have been government organizations so far this year, while that number was just 3% last year. The Biden administration has been working to build alliances with other nations to combat such attacks. But according to the report, Russia and China remain, quote, comfortable leaning into nation-state attacks. A new Senate committee report lays out ways it says former President Donald Trump and allies attempted to overturn last year's election results. The Democrat-led Senate Judiciary report comes after an 8-month investigation. It says then-President Trump asked the Justice Department 9 times to undermine the election results while he was in office. It also claims his chief of staff, Mark Meadows, pressured a DOJ lawyer to investigate election fraud claims which broke administration policy. The report is based on witness interviews of top former Justice Department officials. It calls Trump's repeated demands concerning the election an abuse of presidential power. Coming up, a local artist's newest public installation in Uptown Athens is nearly done. That story still ahead.
It's been a pretty mild week so far for Southeast Ohio. But what does the homecoming weekend look like for the Bobcats? Find out more in my full forecast. But for now, let's take a look at stocks of local interest.
Week 8, we're getting to the point in the season where conference title races are heating up and playoff seeding is taking shape. Gridiron Glory has you covered on all the biggest matchups around Southern Ohio, including Portsmouth traveling to Fairland and Wheelersburg hosting Waverly. Other big games include Jackson traveling to Washington Courthouse and Philo hosting Sheridan. All that and more on Gridiron Glory, 11:30 Friday night, only on WOUB.
How did these homes change America?
I'm Jeffrey Bear, and I'll be your guide
as we go inside 10 homes that changed the way we live. From Taos Pueblo, to Thomas Jefferson's Monticello, to Frank Lloyd Wright's Fallingwater.
Find out which great American homes made the list
of 10 homes that changed America.
Next time on the national parks, during a depression and a war, the parks bring jobs and peace. A young biologist revolutionizes the park's wildlife policies.
George Millen is right, was a savior of wildlife.
And in Wyoming, battle lines are drawn along the front of the Tetons.
The ranchers were totally opposed.
As the national parks continues.
PBS is proud to present the 34th Hispanic Heritage Awards. Join us as we celebrate Selma Hayek, Carlos Santana, Ivy Queen, Cali Uchis, Coach Ron Rivera, and Latina NASA engineers, with performances by Cali Uchis, Leslie Grace, Black Pumas, Juanes, The Mavericks, Allie Brooke, Alex Cuba, and more. Hosted by John Leguizamo. Tune in on Friday, October 8th at 9/8 Central, only on PBS.
Hi everyone, I am forecaster Ashley Ziegler, and tonight we will be having temps. Well, this is for tomorrow. We're having some technical difficulties. But for tomorrow, we will have temperatures at 8 a.m., we will have temperatures of 62 degrees. Clouds will linger, and we do have a 40% chance, which will increase to 45 by noon at a temperature of 71 degrees, chance of rain, but it should clear into the afternoon. Tonight, we have temperatures of 87 at 8 p.m. There will be steady cooling into the night to 64 degrees at midnight. Steady cooling, humidity will rise as the temperatures cool down up to about 100% actually, and there will be a chance of isolated showers. Okay, here is your regional lows for tonight, with most of the area seeing lows in the low 60s, with some warmer spots in southern Ohio. Tonight in Athens, we will have a low of 61 degrees, winds from the southeast of 0 to 5 miles an hour, and isolated thunderstorms and showers are likely. Tomorrow in Athens, we will have a high of 76 degrees, with mostly sunny skies, or with mostly partly sunny skies, with a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms, with winds from the south of 0 to 5 miles an hour. Here are the regional lows for tonight, with like I said, most of the area seeing lows in the low 60s. Here are the regional highs for tomorrow, with most of the area seeing highs in the mid to upper 70s, with some warm spots in Columbus, Chillicothe, and Jackson, Ironton, and Ripley. Here are your surface features for tomorrow, which, as you can see, there is a low pressure system to our west that is bringing all of this precipitation that all of this area, including our area, is seeing. And this cold front will be pushing in, bringing that precipitation and cooler temperatures. Here are the surface features for today, with showing that also that low pressure system that was off to our west before it got moved in, and there will be precipitation still for today as well. Here is the satellite image, which, as you can see right here, it looks like the clouds are kind of in a rotation, which is due to that low pressure system that I mentioned earlier, as it rotates counterclockwise and is bringing moisture into our area, producing clouds. Here is your 7-day forecast with most of the area. Okay, here's your 7-day forecast for the next week. Now to
Carpenter Street in Athens will soon be home to the city's newest mural. Newswatch reporter Will Price spoke with local artist Keith Wild about how he hopes to connect with the community through his latest project.
Keith Wild, rain or shine, has been on Carpenter Street for the last few weeks. He says the dedication is needed to complete his most ambitious mural to date.
Not because it's the biggest, I have a bigger mural, but certainly the expansiveness, the level of detail, the amount of subject matter, and just everything we crammed into this.
Wild is working with the property owner for that section of the wall. He says he collaborated with her for the main ideas of the mural.
But she gave me different pieces of inspiration, and I liked it. She kept it a little bit vague a lot of the time. It gave me, freedom to come up with the visuals.
Wild says the location, just past the intersection of Carpenter and Congress Street, is a prime spot for the 40-foot piece.
Either form, gray or full of graffiti, it doesn't necessarily always look so good. So it's long been discussed because, again, it's a prominent corridor in and out of our city.
Wild's mural is full of intricate detail. He has 3 different sections separated by a staircase that runs through it. He says he's excited about the creativity he gets to showcase.
I really wanted to show off with this one. You only get hired to do what people believe you can do. And people only believe you can do what they've already seen you do. So with every project, I'm always trying to sneak in a little bit of something that's new and different for me.
Wild says he's enjoyed interacting with the community as his work comes together, but he looks forward to what others think when it's done.
So there's a lot of interpretive space for the public, and I really look forward to hearing what they think is going on here and what it means to them.
For Newswatch, I'm Will Price in Athens.
Wild says this will be his longest project to date as he hopes to finish painting by the end of the month.
Hi, I'm Aiden Crowley. Ohio soccer seeks to remain at the top of the MAC, and former Ohio guard Jason Preston will be sidelined for a significant part of the 2021 NBA regular season due to a right foot injury. Stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
How did these homes change America?
I'm Jeffrey Baer, and I'll be your guide
as we go inside 10 homes that changed the way we live. From Taos Pueblo, to Thomas Jefferson's Monticello, to Frank Lloyd Wright's Fallingwater.
Find out which great American homes made the list
of 10 homes that changed America.
The largest Arctic expedition ever.
We want to understand why the ice is melting. It impacts everything we do, all of the weather that we experience.
There's never been data like this.
We all have to care.
To protect the planet, to protect everyone.
What is at stake? Everything, I would say.
Arctic drift on Nova.
It is very hard nowadays to have any awareness of how different the world was for gay people.
Homosexuality is, in fact, a mental illness.
Thousands of gay people went to psychiatrists to be cured.
Activism lit the spark.
This was an uprising.
Take the damning label of sickness away from us.
I'm not going to allow you to dictate to me about who I am.
Cured, Monday, October 11th at 10/9 Central on Independent Lens.
On Light from Above. Looking down from space, satellite cameras capture the extraordinary patterns of our planet, revealing a vast array of shapes, carved into the earth by powerful natural forces, transformed by remarkable animals, and even patterns created by humans. Discover the incredible tapestry of our planet as you've never seen it before.
Hello, everybody. I'm Aiden Crowley. Ohio soccer remains at the top of the MAC after beating Western Michigan 3-1 earlier today. Abby Townsend wasted no time getting in on the action for OU. Just 3 minutes into the match, Townsend finds the back of the net off an Isabel Janoshi assist to put the Bobcats on top early. The Ohio defense had not allowed a goal in 3 straight games, but that streak was snapped in the 32nd minute with a Bailey Cornhole goal to knot the game up at 1. Ohio responded 10 minutes later. Juliana Farina fires one past the keeper to reclaim the lead going into the half. Ohio adds one more goal in the second for another huge MAC victory. The Bobcats continue MAC play Sunday as they travel to Northern Illinois. Ohio hockey is also in action tonight to start a 3-game homestand. The Bobcats look to rebound against West Virginia after a loss against Pitt. The Mountaineers travel to Byrd Arena for just one matchup. Following West Virginia, Ohio plays host to Roosevelt for a twin bill Friday and Saturday. The Bobcats have enjoyed early success, jumping out to a 3-1 record. Head coach Lionel Marone says they need to bring their A-game every game to stay successful.
Yeah, the challenge is that every team that comes here, it's a championship game for them. They'll give us their best effort and they'll work really hard. For us, we need to match it, and then we need to let our skill take over. And it's a difficult thing to do. It's a difficult thing to understand when you're a player that first you need to put in the hard work so that your skill can take over.
The puck drops tonight at 7:30. It's a busy homecoming weekend in Athens with the Central Michigan Chippewas coming to Peden for a Saturday MAC matchup. Ohio wants to keep rolling after their first win last week against Akron. The Bobcats look to carry momentum into their revenge game from a season ago. In 2020, Central Michigan grinded out a 30-27 victory. Ohio head coach Tim Albin says the Bobcats need big plays from the pass game to come out on top.
A lot of familiar faces from last year's defense that we've seen up there, you know, and we hit a couple of big pass plays on them, which will be huge. You know, we're going to build off the Akron run production, you know, going into this game, but we're going to have to be more balanced against these guys to give us our best chance offensively.
Some bad news for a former Bobcat coming from ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Rookie Los Angeles Clipper guard and former Ohio star Jason Preston is expected to miss significant time after undergoing surgery to repair a right foot injury. The 33rd overall pick in the 2021 NBA draft was a key reason for Ohio's success last season. Things did not seem to slow down at the next level for Preston. In the Summer League, Preston averaged 15 points and 8 assists in 5 games. The devastating blow comes just as the NBA preseason began 4 days ago.
Tomorrow, we will be seeing a high of 76 degrees with winds from the south of 0 to 5 miles an hour. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are also likely tomorrow. Okay, sorry for the technical difficulties, everyone. Tomorrow, our regional highs will be in the mid to upper 70s for most of the area, with chances of showers and thunderstorms, as I mentioned previously. Before, we had our 7-day forecast, which throughout the whole weekend, we will be seeing chances of precipitation both Friday and Saturday, but it should clear up Sunday into most of the next week. Starting Wednesday, we will be seeing the 30% chance of rain, with highs in the upper 70s and low 80s. For the lows for the next week, we will have lows in the upper 50s. Now to Lexi.
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.
Support comes from Hocking Valley Bank, offering mortgage loans or refinancing on an existing home, making it easy for dreams to become a reality. Hocking Valley Bank, we know loans.